This is Melanie Duppins, founder of Bricker 28, and I'm coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. This weekend, I'm attending a 4-day conference related to becoming more effective at communicating with you, helping you to understand the message that I'm delivering, making my tips more useful, using social media more effectively to reach you. That's really what I'll be doing for the next 3 to 4 days. And that got me thinking, one of the things that I never knew until I just learned it, right? Learned it the hard way, is that people who have exceptional careers spend money to develop in their jobs. I know that seems pretty obvious, but wait for me. Suspend disbelief here. So I knew that I needed to invest in myself somehow in order to develop skills. But when I was first starting in the workplace, because I didn't have a ton of money, I just assumed, I should lean on what my employer could do. So if my employer was offering classes, I was all over it. There was professional development money, I was all over it. But I really wasn't investing a ton into my own development for the first couple years of the workforce. I would read a book here, a book there, for example, but I wasn't taking classes. I wasn't getting coaches. I wasn't going to conferences, at least until my third or fourth year in a white collar job. And when I started to invest in myself and when I started to maximize the other kinds of funding I could get from my employer, for example, that's when I saw my career go from this level to this level. Difference. The reason is most people are not doing this. Most people are not at least 2, 3 times a year stepping back and thinking, what are the 3 or 4 career skills that I need to develop in the next 6 months to differentiate myself, to stand out, and to access better career opportunities? People are not thinking about this. And so if you are, that's an advantage. And then if you follow through and actually learn those skills, that's an advantage. But in order to start having those kinds of advantages, you need to think about your money differently. And I'm no financial expert, so I'm not going to go there with you. But here's what I mean. In my mind, there were things in my budget that were like, have to have critical food, shelter kind of things, and then there were also non negotiable expenses like Christmas for my family or buying my mother's birthday present, those sorts of things. And even some clothing items. Like I wasn't very much into brands, but making sure I had great work clothes or great shoes or, just everything looked professional. Sure, that was in that non-negotiable bucket. But then there were all these extras. And in my mind, career success was in that extras bucket. Similar to vacations. Like I know they're important, but maybe I don't take one this year, not a big deal. And that was a mistake. What I needed to realize was that allocating a certain component of my budget for career expenses was actually a critical part of my success strategy long term. So I'll let you know in the last 3 years, I know I've spent actually tens of thousands of dollars to develop in my career in my master's program, in additional masterminds and other things that I'm a part of, in conferences that I've gone to. And now, given that's proportional, right? As my income has increased, my investment has increased. But even when I was in my mid 20s and I had started to learn about this principle, I was investing three, four, $500, which was maybe the most I could do in a year. But I was making a sacrifice to invest in myself. And that took faith in the skills that I had and my ability to return that investment back to myself if I really applied what I was learning. So there were a couple moments for me where this became real. One of them was my decision to go to grad school, which is not the right decision for everyone, but was absolutely the right decision for me. And my grad school was crazy expensive. I want to say like $65,000 for 2 years. It was nuts. It was insane. And I remember really wanting to go and feeling like it was the right investment in myself, but worrying and saying, is that responsible? Will I ever pay this back? And, I was talking to my husband about it, and he was so great. And what we came to in that conversation was we as a family want to invest in me. We believe in me. We believe that any investment we make in me as a professional will yield returns, not just personally, but for our family. I wouldn't have gotten to the exact team as quickly as I did. I wouldn't have the perspective that I bring today if I had held back even 2 or 3 years on that decision because I was afraid. So I'm not saying to go get your MBA. I'm not saying to go to grad school. I'm saying start where you start. Start thinking about how you can create a little more margin in your budget to invest in yourself because no one is going to believe in you more than you. Was this useful? I hope so. If it was, please do check out my website, breaker28.com, where there are more links to blog posts and training videos that will help you accelerate your career further and faster than you probably think is possible. One final plug. If you happen to go to breaker28.com, you're going to want to sign up for my email list, and let me tell you why. There are some insider tips that I will only give to my readers on my email list. They've made a commitment to join the community. I want to invest in them more. That's kind of how it goes. So if you're interested, go to breaker28.com, sign up for my email list, and I look forward to seeing you there.